Okay, this is the third of my series of the tour and training for my Lead System Pro system. Now, the reason why I brought you through these first two tabs was because I wanted you to know where these things were. But a lot of people miss this, and I'm not sure why. It's kind of obvious. But this is where you actually get started and set up. It's good to know where all that training is, but that is not your first step. In fact, I do not recommend actually that everybody starts going to the Wednesday night webinar when they're brand new. What I would like to see most people do is they do need to go to the Monday members orientation, and they do probably want to go to the system mastery after they've gotten themselves set up. So the very first thing when you get your membership with me is that you want to start right here on these two steps. Now, the start here has two parts. A lot of the time people will do this first and not come back to the second part, and this is important. The system setup actually does lead to the boot camp, but for some reason people get lost because of course you don't do it all in one day. You probably break it up into small pieces and do a little here and a little there because you're working full time or you're doing other things that you cannot give this 8 hours a day. So the very first thing you want to do is come into this tab, and you're going to see kind of a orientation video. Do watch this because it will explain the whole system and how you want to be set up. And then you have 6 steps here. You do not want to skip around. You want to take it step by step. It's set up on purpose for that, so it makes it really, really easy. What I told somebody to do, and maybe they didn't understand, so I'm going to show you right now what I would really like to see you do. But what I do is I create a second tab. I'm going to create one, and then you have that open, and this tab, pull this back to this one so that you know where you are. And so you go back and forth. When it tells you to do a certain thing, come back in here and do what it says to do. Most of it is going to come into these settings right here in account. But I'm not going to walk you through all that because it does that so well in the setting up process. So go through the process of setting up, do step 1 through step 6. When you get to step 6, it actually does have a tab here that says go to step 2, which is your boot camp, which is also what is right here. So you can get to the boot camp either direction. If you've completed all of these steps, then you're ready to go to the marking boot camp. I know that it's going to be tempting to go to all your training tabs and check all that out, but don't do it before you've done your full setup. One of the major things I've seen people do is that they don't have all of their affiliates set up, and they don't have they haven't gone through the whole process, and so then they don't know what to do next because they haven't followed this. So this is Lynda Cromar, L1 leader, signing off here. This is your first step, is to get started. Start with the step 1 first, complete this, then come in and do step 2.